Good morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And coronavirus again, new lockdowns right after quadruple witching. What timing for Christmas? Looks like everybody's getting cold. Anyway, a pretty big bar to start the day. I know, JT. As soon as this election thing is over, everything will dissipate. The restaurants in New York will open. Right, Cuomo will stop doing TV shows. Anyway, back to the charts. Having to undo the damage and create a red bar ignored, that's yet to be seen. Or even if this could turn into a bottoming tail bar, it's a pretty big wide range bar, right? And while it cut through the first pivot low, it's popped up off of the other bottoming tail bar. And you might wonder, why isn't there a PL under that bar? Well, because there's only two bars to the left with higher lows. And that's what things are set up for, like that. And yes, I know that I could set it up so it could set two, but then you get a whole lot of pivots that historically don't have the greatest odds of being reliable as a pivot. So you accept the fact that you're not really going to get perfection. Anyway, it works real well. And, well, long story about two-level pivots and all of that we won't get into now. So the question here, I think by the end of the day anyway, is whether it closes down here or, can close above here. And one of the things that, I always suggest, not always, time to suggest when things get kind of whippy is to visualize what things look like on a closing basis. So if you connect the closes, right, I'm trying to do here, right, down, 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 right, oop, up, 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 up. And that's the way it is right now. Now, if it should close up here, just looks like, well, whatever happened that day, and if you're just looking at a line chart and sort of, I don't know what happened that day, but just turned out to be a big nothing by the end of the day. So we'll see, whether this closes here, here, maybe here, or up here. That's the question. So the first line of defense for longs, been cracked, and that's going to shake their confidence, of course, especially the way things came down. Things are a little thinner, of course, pre-market. So we'll see how this shapes up. The hourly chart here. A little more data. And everybody, how I like to reinforce master trader method, right? So I'm just going to drag this over here. No, I can't do that. So let's just do this. We'll copy it and we'll paste it right here. Paste that right here. It has to tell all you fib aficionados and VWAPers and who knows what, connect the dot traders out there. Just look to the left. Look at that. Slice through here. Where does it go? Right down to the other prior low, right there. Right now, you want to go pay several $1,000s for somebody to show you how to draw fib levels and symmetry and VWAPs and GAN lines? Well, we'll be here waiting for you when you come back, ready to give up all of that hocus pocus. So let's take a look at the other markets. Yeah, ABC butterflies and Gartleys and the square of 9 and the moon rising over Saturn. And please, I've been there. It wasn't pretty. So SPX, well, yes. Well, just based on that nasty crack, I would be thinking down here because I do not want to get in the way of some craziness today, if possible. We can assess things. If you're a brave heart, you can get just under 3,600. If you're a little more timid on SPX, as I am, I'll be looking maybe at around 3,620 to see if there's any premium. Right? So That's the idea. Where are your lines of defense? Um, where's your lines of defense? And with SPX, and really with any credit spread, you really should look at them, as much as you can as, is it impossible for prices to go below that level or above that level? Because that's, you're just saying, hey, can I collect this amount of premium with something that the other side of it can take away a lot of money if it doesn't work? So, we don't want to be heroes here. We just, let's collect a little money and be safe. And so while it's above this level, I know that there's already buyers down here. And down below here, I know that there's going to be buyers down below here. And then the question becomes, is there premium down below there that makes it worthwhile? Pretty simple. Now, on the upside, with a bar like this, up above Friday's high, highly unlikely you're getting back above that today. So let's see where that is. So there's 3,600. We know it already came down into that area. And you got a little kind of minor level there, 30, 35, 60-ish. Possible. And then, of course, down below here, 35.20. And then above 37.20. So again, being around this area, let's go back to futures. We can look at spiders, which may, right? So we came down to that pivot low on November 30th. Let's go to the spiders. Just below 3,600, below 35, 352, above 372. And of course, if there's something up above, that's a decision to be made. This would seem too much risk. And so somewhere in that area, you can look at the strikes, but closer to here, right, that's going to be higher risk. Down below here, lower risk. 35.65, 35.65. Well, could be a little tight, maybe. McGraw, you know what you're doing. There is this low right here. So 35, 40-ish, 65. So again, those of you with credit spreads, a little bit more aggressive way of looking at things is saying, okay, look, if I get below here, I pretty much, let's call it as close to a no-brainer as we can get. If you go here, if you go up somewhere in here, you could say, well, realize that's aggressive. I got the 50-day moving average there. That's gonna be something institutions are going to look at. If I look to the left, it's in alignment with this cluster of bars. So if I go in this area, while it might poke below, it's kind of like that weak fence, if you will. You're going to lean against it, and it's probably going to pop up back above there. So it's kind of I say, experience, a little bit risk taking, knowing that the probability is that buyers will step up there, some assumption based on historical norms that you can lean against an area and it'll pop back up. How much? Well, we don't know. But look, from here, from Friday to coming down here would be a monster move in one day. And so, well, we got this Corona scare, whatever. I think it's unlikely, and that's what we're looking at for credit spreads. What's the likelihood of something going beyond a certain level? And when you look at the distance from there to there, unlikely. Well, there you have it. So this was the weaker. It was the weaker before, and last week it picked up momentum. It made a new all-time high, coming down kind of hard. Buyers stepping up. There's the prior pivot low there. You can see on the hourly, and so now we just look to the left there and say, all right, minor resistance. There's really nothing to the left over here. Just cut through it like the proverbial hot knife through butter. And so still, this is where traders would be looking. And so far, it held the 20 MA. That was in alignment with that swing. And YM, which has just been coma, right? Sideways there. Q's rallying, so on. And now it's broken. Right? Repeating, we just see where this ends up at the end of the day, but that's a nasty break. And intra bar cutting through two pivot lows. So that's some pretty serious damage done, even though it's not on the close yet. Dan will cover that, John. Put spreads on Amazon. How long does the wonderful sale last? With our end of day special, Scott, we keep them active into the first week of January, Bill. And after that, it's over. So if you want to take advantage of any of our end of year specials, yeah, they will be. We won't wipe them off the site until, off of that link until the first week of January. All right, nasty crack across the board, selling everywhere. Everybody's terrified. Lockdown. No Christmas. Until after Trump says, I give up, or does something a little more aggressive. Well, bonds just still flipping around there. Oil, which has been doing very well. Cracks across the board. Look at that. Coming down pretty hard, getting close to resistance. Maybe breakout failure. Looks like New Year's might be in a bunker. Gold, wow, whipsawing around there. So everybody's scared to death. Silver, which has been improving. Let's take a look at Mr. Bitcoin. Coming in too. What a monster run. Right? So much for the dollar and the US government. I guess maybe that's the end of it forever. Anyway, what yours, Dan?
All right, good morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Short week here, obviously, and at 1 Eastern on Thursday, Christmas Eve. So, yeah, I'm looking at our opens here. It looks like the diamonds, we have a put spread at 297 that expires Friday. So that's the only one that's gapping under our stop that I can see right now. But if anything is gapping under, we just use our general 30-minute low rule, and I'll be focusing on our new trades. Some of them might have excessive entries on the shorts, and I think I'm okay on the longs, because if it triggers, then it means it's strong. One of you asked about Amazon. Yeah, I still have this on my list. Came in as a deep retracement, so I'm not going to rush into it, but it's still on my list. So is Microsoft. Microsoft, I like the daily better, because see how this bar powered and closed as a breakout, and then this retest bar was a little bit stronger. So I like Microsoft as a put spread idea. Let's look at gappers. The junk travel stocks are in play again, with the weakness, gap down on the UK lockdown, new strain. And remember, Debbie was asking me last week, so I say, Dan, well, what is going to change. People's bullishness of everything just going straight up. And I said, well, the vaccine not being as helpful or a new whatever I said. And then the media is going to put that in your head, and that's how the market just gets thrown around. Then last week, there was nothing in people's heads about anything bearishness, so that's why the bullishness stayed so high. All right, so airlines, cruise ships, hotels, restaurants, the same beat up Corona stocks are gapping down here today, and rightfully so. But we're pattern traders, so just oil too is getting hit. We'll have to go through and see what setups. I did mention last week that this run looks like it's over on oil. Had the breakout failure. They're all extended with bearish engulfings on the weekly. XLE, kind of a little head and shoulder top right there. So yeah, let's look for call spreads. I had FedEx in the weekend letter as a call spread over Friday's high. But with the gap down, we'll have to see if we're going to get the desired credit. Baidu is on my bear call credit spread list. Climactic sell setup, 2 topping tails. YGMZ. I don't know what got this rocket ship going on Thursday. Now it's gapping down. Redfin. Yeah, McGraw gave me a list of a couple to look at. And that was on McGraw's list too, Redfin. Yeah, it's climactic. Sure, up 25 bars, far from the 20. Yeah, we can look for a day trade short and a call spread. McGraw, these are some of your other ones, 10B. So McGraw, when you said, hey, should we do credit spreads? I don't know if you're talking call or put credit spreads. I surely would not do a put spread on this. That's a wide range ending. It's just sitting in our style. It's not our wheelhouse to sell a put spread on this. Pan W, gapping down a little bit. Yeah, that's been a bullish pattern. TDOC gapping up 199. It's still a mess. I like Zoom put spread. It's gapping up from this support. So this is a no-brainer put spread. I guess I have it in a window, and I'll see how it sets up. But we'll do the 390 and lower. Diego, Oracle, intraday gap. Wow, Oracle's been on a tear. So $64. Yeah, that's a bearish gap. It's greater than 50% into Friday's range. So it's worth watching. Root has been a recent IPO that's just been a total dog. But I saw it perking pre-market here. And whether that means anything, I have no idea. But maybe, maybe gapping all-time lows and rallying here. We'll keep an eye on it. Anything gapping up in a weak market is strong. So GME, but there's no pattern. It's range bound. This would be a good condor, McGraw, if you can get an out of the money put spread, out of the money call spread. Just looking at the Dow 30. There's 3 or 4 stocks that are green. Look at Goldman gapping up here. Is that all-time highs maybe? Wow. Go figure. Coronavirus, they do more business. I don't understand it. JP Morgan's up, a trading range, no pattern. Nike had earnings. 145, that's a gap breakout to all-time highs. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Corona low, 60 bucks. Absolutely amazing what some of these recoveries have done. I don't understand it at all. I'm not going to even try. All right, Boeing down, getting hit, I think, for two reasons. One is just travel related stocks, airplanes and all. And then there was an article in the paper about the same old 737 MAX, the FAA getting chided. It's like, who didn't know that? Boeing has the FAA in their back pocket. FDS, I got no pattern here. It shows it's up 477, but I see no gap. I noticed Citigroup had a nice gap breakout. EPAC, no pattern, but keep an eye on it. There's some Nike. EYEG gapping up. Yeah, this is a bio. Gap's too big. EYEG. Solar. Solar, let's keep an eye on. Solar stocks have been strong, and I think there was some news. So that looks good. JKS. Zoom we talked about. BNTX 107 and change. No pattern. That's bio also. Oxy oil getting whacked, 17 bucks. That's a big ugly gap. A Jard, 53 bucks. Wow, that's a big gap. Wow, look at this. To put it in perspective, look at this weekly chart here. Closed at 42 bucks. And look at that. It's gapping way the heck up here. And the way it's going sideways, it looks like a buyout to me. Stick IPO on Friday. I like IPOs. RCL, we'll keep an eye on that for a call spread. We actually had a call spread on this. Right there, we did it. Right there, that wide range bar. We shorted a call spread and closed it out at a nickel 2 days later. Lazar, you know, I came close to putting this in the weekend letter, but it's just not clean enough, and it's still in this WRB here. But I liked the WRB, and you know, buyers stepping up. That's still worth watching. A minute to go. Pick 1860. That's a big gap. But that looks like a wow. Look at that run. 10 bucks to 18. ETN. It's trying to make the turn. That's that MT Live that we did a couple months ago called the turn. But it has to break out. Coke, I think, had positive mention, or I think, yeah, Barron's had an article about, hey, top 10 stocks to buy now. And I always look at them. Actually, Goldman, I think, might have been on that list. Maybe. But Coke, kind of a reverse head and shoulders, but it's gapping down, so now I have no interest. SWI, this is the one of the two network security companies that got whacked for, you know, this one they're blaming for the Russia breach. And I liked the climactic buy setup into the close. Look at that. That's just dumping into the close on the 15-minute chart. These are beautiful climactic buy setups for day trades when they set up. And it might be setting up right now. Let's watch that, maybe 10-minute high. I'll put it in a different window. CMCSA had a favorable Barron's article, but it's going nowhere. And now looks like a short instead of a, if it could get above this, then yeah, it's a breakout. But that's how we do news. Unless I'm interested in the article, I don't read it. I just go to the chart and see if there's a tradable pattern there.
EXS might be ready today.
Looking at my 15-minute charts, there's a number of bullish 15s here. Roku, Piton. Look at that Piton run. All right, Amazon using the pre-market data. It has a beautiful buy setup right now. I'm not crazy about the daily, but maybe 5-minute high, day trade, Amazon. Remember I said I liked Microsoft better for a put spread at least. It's only 932, but buyers are so far stepping up on the dip. But that means, nothing until we get more information. All right, zoom. This looks fantastic. This could maybe be directional too. All right, our 390, 360. The midpoint right now is $1.65. Yeah, we're still in that. All right, so let's go ahead and put on, I know it's 933, so it's a little aggressive. But that's a beautiful, the SWI is moving that I mentioned. Climactic. And Debbie, you know the answer. Are you swinging it or day trading it? Swinging it Friday time.
Not that it's worth doing a trade, but I was surprised to see the spreads on options on Amgen. They're ridiculous. The bearish gap down. 45 cents by $1.49.
Hey, Greg, I don't know if you heard my weekend video on the weekly options trader, but I did a long description of dunking because a couple people got caught in news with the spread opening up, including Gustavo. And I just went off on the regulators. I encouraged them to file complaints. You open up the spread $0 to $5 and you're sending a market order.
Criminal.
It is.
It must be Democrats.
All right, yeah, Zoom looks great. This looks fantastic. And like I said, it looks like a directional too. So I see square, it's breaking out.
Those Qs get into the gap fill. There has to be sellers there. See what happens. They're almost there.
Yeah, if Zoom closes like this, yeah, I like it as a directional target. I don't know, 440 to 460. I love Maybe. I like the bearish gap down. I like that you got a sell set up here, when law. I would just give it more time to see if you can get a better reversal bar. But under the low, yes. Under the low is fine. That's a bearish gap with a price for it. Or, you can put it in a thumbnail and see if you get a better entry on a 5-minute chart. Boeing. This AI IPO. Look at that, ripping all-time highs. Square here is still strong. This little gap day was the entry. Yes, Debbie. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Look at our little blink. We're short the $24 puts. Amazon. All right, I mentioned I like the pre-market setup. I said 5-minute high might be a little day trade, but let's check the actually Microsoft. I like that one better. I told you. Check our numbers. I said the 215, 205.
UNH's 5-minute low stop from last week.
Let's do.
If it gets through the gap, Deb, which means it's got a ways to go. That gap still now has those several days of resistance now that it was holding in the 50 MA.
All right, Microsoft's fine, but let's do the let's do the $5 wide instead of 10. But yeah, I like that pattern. I like the bottoming tail into this after a breakout. Baidu, I had as a call spread. If it takes out today's low, it's fine. Gapped under the entry, 188.51. Oh, actually, I already said under 188.35, so it's still valid. It has not done that yet. So yeah, this is the dunking. Then it had this little news blip here over lunch on Friday, is what Gustavo told me he had trouble with. And I told him, I said, call a broker and say I'm going to file a formal complaint. I said, report it, file a complaint, say you're coming after the market maker, and I'm gonna copy the SEC on it. Yeah, SLV looks good. No, it's just the spreads opened up. We had a put spread, and the spreads opened up on that little intraday news. Look at this SWI I mentioned. This is what we call a bullish gap surprise, but beautiful, beautiful 15-minute chart. This is look at that. The biggest wide range bar into the close. I don't care if this gap's up, down, or sideways. This is poised for a bounce. And it worked already. TSX under the low, Debbie. I wouldn't do it right here.
Right on major support. I mean, they couldn't lift off last week. They break these current lows, the utilities. They got a big void below. Mentioned that in the weekend letter. I don't see how they would hold up if TBT starts rising.
But yeah, I like this Lazar. Yeah. Stop under this WRB from Friday, but yeah, I like it. T-Doc. Yeah, I mean it's sloppy, but looks higher. Look at Root moving. Look at Root. Let's watch that on a pullback now. Edit. All right, so we're getting our little pullback here in the Qs. So now we need to step back and see how far they retrace. Yeah, edit looks fantastic. Yeah, look, that was a climactic sell setup, but then it rested for 8 days. So yeah, you can buy that, Kurt. That's amazing strength right now. Yeah, Root does have puts 12 and a half, 30 by 55. Um, glad you participated. If you did, glancing at opens here, I'm gonna have to go through them. IMMR was a 1, 2, 3. We can do 5-minute high. 934. TDS, let's see, under 1819, so it gapped under it. So 5-minute low is fine, under 18. Burl, clean. All right, Burl had a big gap down. Let's cancel. KFY. KFY, let's cancel. EBRG, this was a short under Friday's low, but are you serious? MMR? Well then, no, Edward. It's 928 by 935. I'm looking at my level 1, volume 240,000. Yeah, Q's back at the low here, so let's careful. All right, so this thing, it moved too much in 5 minutes, although it still looks good, EBRG. Look at Root rocking here. Edwards, something is wrong. They may be only showing one ECN, but I promise you, it's wrong because the level 1 is showing me the best bid, best offer. That's what a level 1 is. It doesn't care about who the market maker is.